Hey, what's up? This is Joe. I'm in Lake Chapala in the state of Jalisco, and I wanted to make this video to show you a really cool town called El Rosario, which is just full of interesting stuff. I wound my way down through some curvy back roads to the city of Tepic in the state of Nayarit. So the last time I was there was last year. Everything was completely shut down. Ever since then, I've made a firm resolution to come back and really properly explore the place. That ended up being just an absolutely beautiful city. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. And as always, I've included an optional donate link in the drop box if you'd like to contribute to this project. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road. Okay. Okay, bye. After spending the holidays with Lily and her son Fernando, I was a free agent again. While they were busy packing up to move to Querétaro, I took to the environment I know best, the open road. I made it about 50 miles down the road before I decided to stop and explore El Rosario, a so-called magical town in the state of Sinaloa, famous for a breathtaking Catholic altar and a pond with the Malecon running along its banks. The experience of gazing upon this altar was truly awe-inspiring. I'm guessing that's the intended effect of most cathedrals, to inspire a sense of the omnipresent, the enormity of a higher power. If that's the case, this church definitely succeeded. I couldn't believe the amount of intricate detail that went into these carvings. It seemed to me the Catholics had gone to great lengths to convey the infinite power of their God. For a smaller town, there's a lot to see in El Rosario, not the least of which are the ancient ruins of an old Spanish church, now home to birds, grasses, and even trees. Did I ever tell you that for a smaller town there's a lot to see in El Rosario? Well, a stone's throw away from the ancient church ruins is a pond featuring a small island with a zip line and suspension bridge, as well as a walkway or Malecon which wraps around its banks. Throughout the course of exploring, I stopped to investigate what appeared to be an ancient Spanish cemetery filled with chickens and a dog from hell. The next morning I woke up alive, so I continued wandering. There was a back road leading to Tepic, Nayarit, which I hadn't yet taken, so I took it and pushed on south. Buenos días. Quisiera 295 de premio, por favor. ¿Qué onda?
¿De dónde viene manejando?
Yo vengo de Mazatlán.
Mazatlán.
Voy a Guadalajara.
A Guadalajara.
Ah, ¿y usted?
Venimos de Arizona.
Arizona, ok.
Sí, vamos para Sayulita.
¿Vive en Arizona?
Sí.
¿Qué parte?
Prescott.
Prescott, ok.
Tengo un restaurante allí en Prescott que se llama Los Pinos.
¿Los Pinos? Ok.
From Virginia.
It's a long story. I've been, yo vivo en el camino. Soy vagabundo.
Muy bien, así es. Camino por todo el mundo.
También tengo un canal de YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's Dirty Motorcycle Vagabond. Vagabundo sucio de moto. Más o menos.
Vagabundo.
Vagabundo, exactamente.
Get on there and give you a like. Have a safe trip.
Que tengan un buen viaje.
Igualmente.
There are a good number of Mexican Americans living in the U.S. who make Mexico a travel destination. I've met several such of these characters while traveling here. The man I talked to owns a restaurant in Prescott, Arizona called Los Pinos. I checked out the menu online and it looked rather enticing. ¿Puedo sentarme acá?
Sí, claro.
Ok, gracias.
Ok.
¿Me puede traer un platillo de la primera de... When I explained to the owner of this restaurant about my current dietary restrictions, he told me to hang tight and he'd make me something. The avocado salad with tomatoes and onions was doused with a homemade roasted garlic-infused dressing, so obviously this guy wasn't messing around. The next plate was chambarete, a Mexican style of stewed beef shank similar to osso buco. I rested up and headed into the city the next morning. Chicharrón.
Sí. Pruébala, que guste.
Gracias. ¿Puede darme la mitad de esta pieza? Oh, gracias. The chicharrones were decadent, fatty, and cheap. Kind of like me. I headed to El Centro to see what was happening. So this place is cool. I'm in Tepic, Nayarit. Last time I was here last year, the entire city was completely shut down. All the businesses closed early. All this park was roped off. So it's nice to come back down when everything's finally back open. I'm gonna have to fucking cut that music out, I bet, probably. Throughout my travels abroad, I've immensely enjoyed exploring marketplaces. Generally speaking, I found them to be indicative in many ways of regional tastes, the same in many ways and yet different. ¿Qué tipo de queso es? Through the course of chatting with this cheesemonger, he told me in perfect English how he had a girlfriend living in the States, but she was shy about speaking Spanish, and therefore he had to learn English.
She doesn't speak that much Spanish. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, she's really shy.
Okay. That's a lot of Mexicans that have been lived like second generation. Quisiera un plato de menudo, por favor. Y sin tortillas para mí, por favor. Me encantan las tortillas, pero no puedo. Gracias.
Que Dios me lo bendiga.
Gracias. So I'm here in the Menuderia. This is almost everywhere you go in Mexico. Menudo is very popular. So this is made from tripe, cow stomach, hominy, and a bunch of other good stuff. Which actually I can't eat the hominy, I just realized, but I'm not going back now. Muchas gracias. Oh, yerba buena, okay. So this is the yerba buena. It's like in the mint family with my menudo, which is actually sin hominy, so that's even better. We got the cow's tripe. It looks like this has been boiling for hours. You can see all the gelatinous goodness that is collected on the top of this. And then there's big cow's bones. Chiles jalapeños o serranos? Jalapeños, okay. Really good, muy rico. This is a little bit of the deeper end of the pool as far as bizarre foods and stuff like that go. It's got a sort of a, how else to describe it? Sort of a flavor of the animals themselves. Smells kind of like as if you're taking a tour through a barnyard, kind of a smell. It's fatty, the consistency's awesome, and you put enough lemons on it, it tastes pretty damn good, so. Provecho. I wish I could have those. If you really want a taste of the authentic culture, come to the market and eat whatever they're serving in the market. Every different state of Mexico has its own different variations on various different dishes and stuff. So, so this to me is like eating what the locals eat. Sí, sí. Somos suavecitos. I was back in a cafe a little earlier today, and the waitress was working all by herself and was very impolite and just sort of gave one-word answers, wouldn't make any kind of eye contact and things like that. You do tend to have situations like this, whether at home or abroad. When traveling to a foreign country, the tendency is to sort of take it personally and think, well, maybe because I'm American. It's because I'm American, isn't it? I find that to really not be the right course of thinking. If I follow that line of thinking, I'm gonna feel like a complete outsider. You know, I might as well pack up and go home, right? So I choose not to think about it that way. There's a possibility, sure, this person's had a bad experience with some gringos or whatever. It's not for me to feel upset about it. I've got way more good experiences down here than the occasional thing like that, the occasional blip. I just generally find that the best course of action is just don't take it personally. Try to be in a good mood, talk to people, smile, and just having the right attitude just goes a long way towards having a good experience. Somewhat symbolic of the state of Nayarit are these square hand-woven ornaments. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a lot of definitive answers on what they represent, other than being symbolic of the Huichol people and indicative of their contributions to the culture. Ahí está.
O sea, que era una muchacha que no, ni para bien ni para mal, pues.
So this is not a typically gringo-heavy city. A lot of gringos don't come here. I enjoy that about it, but also whatever sort of misconceptions people might have because they haven't really interacted with a lot of gringos, you know, you have to deal with those. Again, the best thing I found is just this: have a good attitude, stay positive, smile, try your best at learning the language, make fun of yourself, you know, whatever. If I do that, things generally go pretty well. The city of Tepic is home to about 500,000 inhabitants, making it rather modest in size. In making a choice to travel, you're signing up not only to have good experiences, but also bad, and literally everything in between. There's a lot to be said at the end of the day for keeping a positive attitude and learning to be the butt of the joke. Just as I was starting to get itchy feet again, my friend Scooter Tramp Scotty called me up and informed me he was in Lake Chapala. Being unencumbered, I started riding in his direction for what I thought would be a quick day trip through the agave fields. Little did I know, the gods of the road would have other plans.